Hi, you're with Bloomberg Quint and I'm Tamanna. Well, sometimes the signs are right there for everyone to see. The chemistry is not working, interest levels are waning, but does the other partner realize? Well, that's a question today for Lalu Yadav as well as the Congress party, because it's clear that he's just not that into you. We're talking, of course, about Bihar Chief Minister and JDU Chief Nitish Kumar, who has been dropping hints left, right and center that he's not happy with the way the alliance is going, both at the level of the Bihar government and, of course, the opposition Gathbandhan, which wants to give the NDA a big fight in 2019. Let's just take you through all the signs, 5 big signs actually, that Nitish Kumar is just not that into this partnership at this point. Well, of course, May 27, 2017 was the one big sign when Nitish met Prime Minister Modi for lunch, but decided to skip the all-party opposition meet to decide on what to do for the presidential nomination. Of course, if you consider the first sign, it may be the fact that Nitish Kumar backed demonetization when all other opposition parties made a huge hue and cry about it. But May 27th could be the first big sign that things were not all well in this Gathbandhan. Then, of course, June 19th was the big day when Ramnath Kovind's candidature was announced by the BJP, and Nitish Kumar said he was personally happy about it and he was supporting it. Ramnath Kovind, of course, was the Bihar governor at that point, and Nitish made that first move even while the rest of his Gathbandhan partners were left scratching their heads about how to respond to Ramnath Kovind's nomination. The crisis only deepened thereafter with one remark from Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad, sort of trying to say that people with different principles act differently. Nitish Kumar took it personally, and when Meera Kumar was announced as the opposition choice for presidential nominee, Nitish responded like this. He says, "Haan, Bihar ki beti hai," because Meera Kumar, of course, hails from Bihar, but has Bihar ki beti been chosen only to lose? That was a direct attack, a direct sign to his opposition partners, especially the Congress party, that things weren't working out well as far as he is concerned. Let's cut to July 2nd, that is Sunday, when Nitish Kumar in a meet with his party leaders says, "We are not pichlaggus." That means we are not going to ride the coattails of any one big party. All signs are clear that he is talking to the Congress, and he made that clear today as well. Ostensibly, on the face of it, Nitish was trying to cover up for all the statements made on Sunday, but he did end up saying in the same breath that the Congress must present an alternate narrative, and as a big party should take the lead in presenting that alternate narrative. It's just not enough to criticize and make a hue and cry about every issue. You need to pick your battles. Well, these are some clear signs that Nitish is not really happy in this current alliance arrangement. Let's listen in to what he said today, and it will make things even clearer.
सिर्फ बोलने से और प्रतिरोध करने से नहीं होता है। अल्टरनेटिव क्या है? हम तो इस चीज के पक्षधर हैं कि हर एक चीज के बारे में जो जनहित में है और देश के हित में है, उस पर हमें अपनी बात रखनी चाहिए और वो सेट करना चाहिए। और मैंने तो चिदम्बरम साहब के बुक रिलीज के फंक्शन में सामने श्री राहुल गांधी जी बैठे हुए थे, तो हमने कहा कांग्रेस बड़ी पार्टी है, सेट करिए। अब बुला करके एजेंडा सेट करना चाहिए, या अन्य प्रकार से भी, जिस तरह से भी हो, कोई और भी पहल हो, तो उसमें वैकल्पिक एजेंडा बनना चाहिए।
So what do all these signs add up to? Are these just rumblings? Is this just some unhappiness being shown, or is there a bigger picture? Well, to speak more about it, I'm joined by very senior journalist Prem Shankar Jha, who has written recently about also what Nitish's unhappiness means for this opposition. Thank you so much for speaking to us on Bloomberg Quint, sir.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, now Nitish Kumar, most people say, analysts say, is the most credible face in the opposition camp right now. With him making it clear that he is not happy with the way things are going, what signs do these show for the Gathbandhan?
I think that Nitish Kumar has made that absolutely clear. He is all for opposition unity to fight the BJP in the 2019 elections, but he says we must have a clear alternate vision of India, a whole set of programs which add up to a vision of India to which we can all subscribe. What you're seeing today is the destruction by the BJP, systematic destruction of the vision of India that was created by Mahatma Gandhi and the Congress and the founding fathers even before independence, and which has, every single part of it is being taken apart by the BJP. For example, a kind of a religious pluralism, respect for each other's religions, and so on. Nitish is saying that it is not sufficient simply to pick up tiny issues, as I'm afraid Mr. Rahul Gandhi does all the time, and say we attack you on this. A purely negative approach to politics will get you absolutely nowhere, which is all that the Congress is doing. You're absolutely right when you said that Nitish Kumar's remarks are really aimed at the Congress to reform itself, to stop thinking of itself as the grand old party around which these petty parties will cluster. That situation has ended. The opposition must be an opposition of equals. The Congress is no longer what it thinks it is.
But sir, but in the same breath, Nitish Kumar says again and again that I am not a prime ministerial candidate for 2019. I do not see myself in that position. So what really is the point he's trying to make?
The point he's trying to make is that this is not the time. It is not, you don't build an opposition around a personality. You've got a government around a personality, Mr. Narendra Modi, which is taking India to the brink of war with China, with Pakistan, alienating Russia, distancing itself from Iran, and creating all kinds of serious problems within the country with Gau Raksha and a kind of benign neglect of vigilantes and stormtroopers unleashed by the RSS. You need a different, an alternate vision of India. You've got to either restore the old original vision or have a vision that really is relevant to the problem that India faces today. I completely agree with it.
Okay, but so I was listening to that press conference today and a journalist asked him, so why don't you suggest an alternate narrative? And he said, well, I don't say anything. If he's unhappy with the way this alliance is positioning itself on big subjects, he's not really having those conversations within the alliance.
What do you want? Instant coffee? There's 2 years to the election. We have had one spectacular success through a Gathbandhan in Bihar, a spectacular failure, even more spectacular failure in UP, from a failure to create any kind of Gathbandhan. And there is now people are digesting these lessons. And Nitish Kumar, in fact, is emerging as the statesman of the opposition. He is an immensely important person because he is seeing precisely where the opposition must go, in effect, to offer an alternative and more palatable vision of India to the people of India.
Okay,
and
so
I think
his statements are also being construed as maybe signs that he may be looking at exiting either the alliance in Bihar or the Gathbandhan at the national level. Do you think it will really come to that, or are these just warning shots?
No, they are warning shots, yes, and not at Lalu in Bihar. I mean, in a sense, they are also, you can say that these are warning shots to everybody. That look, we've all got to work together. So that's equally true of Lalu Yadav in Bihar. But he's by no means breaking the alliance with Lalu Yadav. Please, that is completely wrong. But the warning shots are to all the opposition, not just Congress and the North Indian Gathbandhan, if you like. I think they're going to be reaching out to the future to parties in the South too. But it is all the more necessary that you have a coherent vision of what you want India to be. So it is the first time that you're getting in India an attempt to build a solid plank based upon programs and not upon caste, etc., etc. I mean, we are moving into a whole new phase of Indian democracy, and Nitish Kumar is leading it. Rahul Gandhi doesn't even know about it. He's in Italy. He was in Italy until very recently. I mean, is that the way to deal with this issue?
No, so do you see the Congress party paying heed to these warning signs, or Lalu paying heed to these warning signs? Because at the end of the day, it seems like Nitish Kumar is also trying to distinguish himself from the rest of the opposition. He did that with demonetization. He's doing that with GST as well.
I don't think he's distinguishing himself from the opposition. He is trying to give a lead to the opposition. By definition, someone who tries to give a lead to a group of parties is distinguishing himself within the opposition, but not from the opposition. That is the difference. And I think I want to come back to the point you made earlier, which was about his saying, I'm not going to be, I don't want to be Prime Minister. Yeah. What he's saying is, look, the issue of who is going to be Prime Minister can only be decided after the election. First, we have to form an opposition. Then we have to win the election. Then only does this question arise. Why are we taking this issue and destroying on this basis the opposition, the entire opposition to start with? That is a statesman speaking.
I don't know how practical that is, sir, because we've seen the last few elections are very personality based.
Look, no, on the contrary, that too is a part of a very early feudal, adolescent democracy which is being left behind. Mr. Modi may be the last of that kind of demagogue, a demagogue who leads. Was Pandit Nehru a demagogue? He was most certainly not a demagogue. And was Narasimha Rao a demagogue? Was Mr. Vajpayee a demagogue? In my opinion, the two best prime ministers India has had are Narasimha Rao and Atal Bihari Vajpayee. I have not an instant's hesitation in saying so, and they were anything but demagogues. Mr. Narasimha Rao was called a turtle because he was the person who pushed others forward and then tucked his head inside the shell, to avoid any direct feedback. Okay. And Mr. Vajpayee left details to his advisors and to his ministers and only concentrated on strategic issues. That is the making of, those are statesmen prime ministers, and that's the frame in which you must look at Nitish Kumar.
Okay, last question to you, sir. If Nitish does decide to keep himself aside from the current opposition narrative, can this Gathbandhan really have a future minus Nitish?
This is such a hypothetical question. It's not even worthy of an answer. I'm sorry to say this to you. We have, are we trying to? Are you wanting me to say that if Nitish is not part of the Gathbandhan must fail? I'm sorry, I'm not going to make any such predictions. No single individual is irreplaceable. But ideas and concepts, and the idea of India in particular, is irreplaceable. Anybody who does not understand that, and I specifically aim this at the Congress, anyone who doesn't understand this and tame their own ambitions, their own petty ambitions within their party and within the country to serve the larger interests of the country, they don't deserve to be in politics.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Prem Shankar Jha. So Nitish Kumar is sending out all those signals, all those messages. Most of them seem to be aimed at the Congress party right now. The question is the Congress party listening, or do they still see themselves as the pivot around which this Gathbandhan will center? Because some of the members of this opposition rank don't see them in that position. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Glad to be here.